Hello and welcome to this week's edition of WMLT News. I'm Jamie Lee Reichert. People are not the only ones suffering from a low economy. Pets and animals are also feeling the leash tightened around monetary budgeting. Julia Spencer reports on how one animal shelter in Mercer County is coping with the change in animal intake.
Animals are man's best friend, but what happens when you lose your job and are forced to choose between your family pet and your family? People all across America are making this tough choice right now. The Mercer County Animal Shelter says that they are feeling the squeeze also. Animals are coming in daily with sad stories from owners who say they cannot even afford to feed their pets anymore and are being forced to give them up. Their only choice? An animal shelter. Lisa Nesbitt is the director of the Mercer County Animal Shelter, and she explains how this can happen.
We always have a lot of strays, but we're noticing a lot more owner turn-ins. People leaving their animals in their house. We've had animal control to have to go out and pick up animals in people's houses that they've left abandoned. People not being able to afford to keep their animals. It's been a lot of owner turn-ins.
Everyone may love a new kitten or puppy, but some should not take on that responsibility if they are not financially capable. Animals are abandoned every day and brought to the shelter to be taken care of there. There is usually an overflow of kittens and cats that call the shelter their current home. Kittens and cats are also the hardest animals to place in adoptive homes. Many come into the shelter starving and have been physically abused. Nesbitt says that kittens and cats are brought in most often.
We just get so many cats in. We sometimes during kitten season we get about 50 cats a day.
Puppies are the easiest to place into homes. Some people want to have a purebred dog that costs extra cash. The animals that come into this particular shelter are mostly mixed breeds and strays, but sometimes a purebred or high-dollar dog will come in that has usually been overbred or abused, like the small Yorkshire Terrier who has cancer and may not get to live out her last years in comfort and love. When it comes to purchasing a pet from a pet store compared to adopting from a shelter, the latter is always the better deal in more ways than one. An animal from a pet store can run you thousands of dollars, but a shelter pet is a much better bargain in money and appreciation from the animal. The Mercer County Animal Shelter works hard every day to give all these animals the love, attention, and medical care that they need to survive and hopefully be adopted into loving homes. For more information on how to responsibly adopt a loving shelter animal, visit your local animal shelter to take a tour and see if any of them capture your attention and your heart. For WMLT News, I'm Julia Spencer in Princeton.
A popular alcoholic energy drink called Four Loko was removed from the store shelves this week after several college students were hospitalized. The contents of the heart attack-inducing drink are equivalent to drinking 1 cup of coffee and 5 alcoholic beverages. The drink is made up of mainly alcohol, caffeine, taurine, and guarana. Forget the wings, you'll be supercharged like a NASCAR engine with this drink. A bit of indigestion is the least of your worries with this drink, which combines the taste of beer and coffee. After a few sips, drinkers can plan on being wired for the remainder of the day, with the caffeine in the drinks masking the usual signs of intoxication. The beverage comes in 8 flavors and is considered a public health concern after the recent heavy consumption on college campuses around the country. The FDA has fully banned the blackout in a can by December 13th, and the product will be banned until it can be proved safe for consumption. Every passing of every second, there is someone in America that needs donor blood. The people that make the choice to donate blood are a small, special group that the nation depends on for their donor blood supply. Julia Spencer reports on how a visit to Concord University from the American Red Cross could help save hundreds of lives during the holiday season.
The American Red Cross and Concord University teamed up today with the help of students, faculty, and community members alike, getting signed in and signed up to do their part to help the shortage of donor blood for the holiday season. A growing number of students partook in the fight to make a difference and save a life today by donating blood. The ballroom quickly became a bustling scene filled with students to give blood and workers to take the blood. For about every 100 people in the United States, only 3 will donate blood. This generous group of people make up the nation's blood supply. Haley Craven, a Concord senior, donates blood every chance she gets and enjoys the feeling that comes along with helping people.
Because my one bag of blood could save up to like 3 people, and you never know when you're going to be in a car accident and going to need some blood or anything like that. And especially during the holiday season, there's more traffic and more likely to be in need of blood.
Blood donors are always needed, and the requirements are very easy to comply with. To be a blood donor, you must be over 110 pounds, be healthy, and over the age of 17 in most states. If you are considered a healthy donor, then you may be able to donate blood every 56 days. The donation process itself is very quick and relatively painless. It involves a quick pinch with a sterile needle, and once a pint of blood has been taken, then you're all done. After this process is said and done, then the donor relaxes and enjoys refreshments with their feeling of accomplishment that they just helped save lives.
Arm hurts a little bit, but it's okay. It's a sacrifice I make to try and help some people out in the future.
It takes many workers, volunteers, and donors to make each blood drive successful. Troy Stifler is a donor recruiter for the American Red Cross, and he was eager to explain the importance and urgency that relates to blood donation.
We do 9 blood drives a day at the American Red Cross. The local hospital uses it. It's about 300 units, and it takes us 9 blood drives a day to collect that 300 units of blood. And that's why this blood drive is really special here today. We are actually going to try to do 100 units of blood here today for the first time ever at Concord University.
Whether you are O negative, B positive, or anything in between, the story stays the same. It's all red blood, and it's all needed to save lives. So contact your local Red Cross and see how you can make a difference. For WMLT News, I'm Julia Spencer in Athens.
Now here with this week's Concord Minute is Taylor Shea.
Thanks, Jamie. This year marks the 6th time Concord's mock trial team has placed either 1st, 2nd, or 3rd in the fraternity's National Pre-Law Conference in the last 6 years. Schools from across the nation competed in Washington, D.C., November 10th to 13th, including the University of Florida, Indiana University, Texas Tech, Western Illinois University, and many other schools. The event also included speakers on law school applications, financial aid, LSAT test preparation, and how to become a successful law student. Congratulations to all who participated in the competition. If you have a Concord email address, you have undoubtedly noticed all the alerts and warnings about the accounts being transferred to a new host site. So if you haven't already registered through the new live.edu account, be sure to do so in order to continue to receive any future email. If you have any questions, visit www.concord.edu/live or contact the Concord Help Desk. That's all for this week's Concord Minute. Back to you, Jamie.
Stay tuned. We'll return for more WMLT News in just a moment. Welcome back to WMLT News, and here with this week's Ticket or Leave It is Marilyn McAuliffe.
2 movies to discuss this week. One that has recently hit theaters is Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows, Part 1. This is the first part of the 7th installment in the Harry Potter series. This movie follows Harry, Hermione, and Ron as they searched for pieces of Voldemort's soul, or Horcruxes. Voldemort hid these objects in many obscure locations far and wide. Harry and his friends are trying to destroy the Horcruxes in hopes that Voldemort will weaken or die. While searching for the objects, tensions rise and they uncover the existence of the three most powerful objects in the wizarding world, the Deathly Hallows. If you're a fan of the Harry Potter books and movies, be sure to check this one out as well. Another movie out is Due Date. Peter Hyman is a soon-to-be father, and the only thing he wants is to make it back home in time for his wife's due date. Hyman runs into all kinds of problems trying to get home, such as getting thrown off his plane, causing him to take a road trip with aspiring actor Ethan Tremblay and his dog. Tremblay makes their should-have-been easy road trip into a disastrous ride. Along the way, they destroy cars, friendships, and Peter's last nerve. It's a movie that will have you laughing. This movie is definitely your ticket. That's it for this week's Ticket or Leave It. Back to you, Jamie Lee.
On Monday, November 29th, 15-year-old Samuel Hengel held his classmates and a teacher hostage for 5 hours at a high school in Merritt, Wisconsin. As police approached, Hengel turned the gun on himself and was pronounced dead at 10:44 a.m. Police Chief Jeff Skorick told reporters that police are still trying to determine a motive, saying that the student was well-liked and no prior offenses. Principal Corey Lambie says he was unaware of any problems with this particular student and that he was in good standing. It's reported that Hengel prevented anyone from leaving the room and would communicate only with police via the teacher. Hengel apparently ordered that everyone give up their cell phones and that the teacher use a landline telephone in the classroom to communicate with the hostage negotiators. With Christmas fast approaching, students at Concord University are looking for ways to spread the spirit of the season and give those less fortunate. Miles Vaughn has more.
Though temperatures are beginning to chill off at Concord, students' spirits are as warm as ever. In the Jerry L. Beasley Student Center, Concord students, staff, and faculty are continuing the tradition of working with the Salvation Army to bring Christmas to the community through the Angel Tree program. Angel trees have been around for over 40 years and allow the general public to select a child, ages 0 to 12, who was registered at a local Salvation Army back in October by their parents. On December 17th, parents will be able to pick up a food box and their child's angel gifts at the Princeton, West Virginia Salvation Army. This year, Concord University requested 100 angels, and all of the children's angel tags were selected from the tree by faculty, staff, students, and friends of Concord. Lennis Hill from Concord Student Services was very pleased with the turnout and stated that the angel tree is very important in making Christmas possible for all the people of the Athens area. For WMLT, this is Miles Vaughn in Athens.
That's all for WMLT News. I'm Jamie Lee Reichert. Please tune in again in 2 weeks for more Concord University. See you next time.